John starts off this hour in Washington, D.C. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve, sir. How can I help?
So I recently had my car totaled. It was a 2008, and it was worth about $6,500, and I got that as a total loss settlement. So I'm looking to get another car, and I've always gotten, well, I guess the one time before, I did get a used car. My net worth is not over $1 million, so I have been looking at used cars, but I went to a dealership, and they have some 2018s that they are trying to get off of the lot, with the 2019s that have come in. So
happens every year.
My question was, yes, my question was, if those end of the year deals for what have been new cars can be good enough to be similar to used cars, could you buy a new car in that case?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Not unless you're a millionaire.
Right.
And do you have a lot of other money besides the $6,500?
Yes, I do have money. We will be, paying cash, of course. So
whatever we're discussing here is cash.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing: you can do whatever you want to do. You're a grown guy. You got the money. Okay. The way I look at it is this: I look at data points with people who are better than me in a space, have more experience than me in a space, and I say, not how can I come right up to the edge of that data, but how can I be way over to the right of that data so that I'm ensured I get to be that. Example would be, I was blessed to get to know Mr. Truett Cathy that owned and started Chick-fil-A before his passing, and his wife Jean. Dan, his son, is still a friend. Okay, and they were married at the time I first met them. I think they'd been married 67 years, and obviously he was a highly successful, driven entrepreneur. And so for Sharon and I get to sit with them, even for 20 minutes, and ask a couple that have been that successful in business, that successful spiritually, that successful with their children, that successful in their marriage, 67 years, what's the secret? Now, once they tell me what the secret is, although it's not a secret, we know that, right? But once they tell me, these are the things I would do. In other words, Mr. Cathy, if I want to be you when I grow up, marriage and spiritual walk, what would I do? Give me 10 minutes of wisdom here. I'm sitting at the feet of a great man, right? Then I ask him, and then I don't ask him, and then take that and go, well, what's the least of that I can do? No, I do right down the middle of that. You follow me?
Yes.
And so what does the typical millionaire do in the 10,000 millionaires that we studied for Chris Hogan's book, Everyday Millionaire? The typical millionaire has not bought a new car in decades before they became a millionaire. They didn't go, well, the 18s look like a good deal. They just said, we're not putting our money in crap that goes down in value, and then scratch our head and wonder why we're not millionaires. We're putting our money in things that go up in value, and cars go down in value. They're the largest thing we all buy that goes down in value. Now, you can do whatever you want to do, but the data says, the data points, the best practices, the things you want to emulate say, stay away from things that go down in value. And not stay right, just barely away from them, stay way away from them. So if you really did some detailed research on cars, the best deal on a car is around 2 to 3 years old with low miles. It's taken the most of the hit it's going to take financially in value, and it's got the best technology available. It's got the best, a lot of life left in it because it's a 3-year-old car, got 14,000 miles or something like that. It's a very low mile car, and but the technology is only 3 years old. The thing's got all the life left of a brand new car in it, but it's already lost half of its value. And so you let someone else take the butt kicking on this stuff, and you go be rich. And that's all we're talking about here. And so my point is not to pick on you, John, but my point is just a lesson for all of us is don't ask what's the least I can do and still barely win. Ask hey, how fast can I get there? I want to drive like no one else, so later I can drive like no one else. And that changes everything then. So, but again, you do whatever you want to do. We're not going to be mad at you either way. But that's where my guidelines come from. And that's where these concepts come from. It's what I stuck to, by the way. Now, I buy brand new cars, but I'm a multimillionaire. And it's a very, very small percentage of my world today. But when we were broke, we didn't buy new cars. We drove a piece of crap. And then we weren't broke anymore. It was amazing. So that's the answer to your question, sir. Thanks for calling.